This girl was stripped naked. The woman was lying on the table, covered in blood. The rich kids humiliated her, and they brought a yellow liquid. They poured it all over her face. The more pain the girl showed, the more excited the rich kids got. To fulfill their perverted desires, they recorded the whole thing on camera. What's worse, the rich kids took out photos of the girl's parents when they were killed. When the girl saw it, she couldn't hold back her screams, and then fainted. They injected the girl's arm with a stimulant to wake her up, because not far away, their boss had a fierce look on his face. Then he dragged his tools and slowly walked over. He smiled at the girl and reached out to touch her forehead. The girl thought she was finally saved. The man suddenly brought a fishing line and passed it under the girl's neck. Before the girl could react, her neck was strangled by the fishing line. In the next second, the girl's aorta was broken, and the man was splattered with blood. But he didn't feel any fear, because just a few minutes earlier, the man had killed the girl's entire family. Even the 5-year-old child. The policeman had to pick up the family photo on the ground and vow to avenge them. But it didn't work out that way. His boss told him to mind his own business. He couldn't afford to mess with the people above him. But Park Jae-hyuk didn't want to let go of this opportunity. At his insistence, he managed to go from being a cop to a pig farm guard, and all his men had their throats slit, leaving him to flee the country. He thought the case would be dropped into oblivion. But 2 years later, the police found a woman's body in the field, and she looked very miserable. The whole thing went viral. In order to give an explanation to the public, Old Park was assigned to the case. One of his specialties is that he likes to catch rich kids very much. He soon found Cha-Yi-do's DNA at the scene. He then rushed to Cha-Yi-do's home with his men. On the other side, the Public Security Bureau received a message. They also wanted to take Cha-Yi-do away. They wanted to take Cha-Yi-do away because he had important information. But it was too late. Old Park took Cha-Yi-do away first. At the police station, Cha-Yi-do looked unconcerned. The lawyer next to him kept trying to exonerate him. With no hard evidence, Park had no choice but to let him go. This girl is in deep shit. She was stripped naked and pinned to the table. A couple of rich kids assaulted her. Afterwards, they poured yellow liquid on her face. The girl was tortured to death. Then their leader strangled the girl's neck with a fishing line. The girl's aorta was blown out in the next second. In order to bring these people to justice, police officers Park checked all the surveillance cameras at the scene. Finally, she found Cha-Yi-do on a car's traffic recorder. With this evidence, Park arrested Cha-Yi-do at the police station. Unexpectedly, the Public Security Bureau made a move. They found a scapegoat and took all the blame. Park was furious. He went to his boss, but his boss warned him not to meddle. He had no choice but to return home in disappointment. As soon as he entered, she found a stranger sitting on a sofa. The man was the same policeman who survived that year. He told Park that he had the evidence of Cha-Yi-do's crime in his hands. After looking at the photo, Park vowed to bring Cha-Yi-do to justice. But just then, his cell phone suddenly rang. His men told him that Cha-Yi-do had been acquitted. He hurriedly drove to the police station and found that the NSA had already brought Cha-Yi-do out. He couldn't stand it any longer and yelled at Cha-Yi-do. He didn't expect Cha-Yi-do to be angry and told him the story of his crime. In the face of Cha-Yi-do's provocation, Old Park threw a punch, but he would soon pay for his impulsiveness. Early the next morning, the news of the police officer's beating made the headlines. Under pressure, Park was temporarily removed from his post. To protect Cha-Yi-do, the NSA was going to send him to the US. But while staying at the hotel, Cha-Yi-do started to attack the NSA. This man is a pervert. The female assistant just passed by in front of him, and he started to kill her, although his hands have been handcuffed since then. But it doesn't stop him from killing. Even the spectacled man from the National Security Bureau couldn't stand to look at him. He kicked him to the ground and stomped his stinking feet on his face. Cha-Yi-do smiled evilly. "Isn't your Public Security Bureau here to protect me? Have you eaten your bear's heart and leopard's gall?" The man with glasses exploded with anger. Luckily, his assistant held him back. Otherwise, Cha-Yi-do would have been stomped into meat. On the other hand, Park found out where Cha-Yi-do was. He came to the hotel with the evidence. In front of everyone, he released the video of Cha-Yi-do's murder. Everyone was silent. "This is an animal." Park walked up to Cha-Yi-do and taunted him about his sexual prowess. That's why he killed so many young women. Cha-Yi-do was so angry that his weakness was exposed. He wanted to teach Park a lesson, but he didn't realize he was no match for him. He was insulted by Park in public. And the Public Security Bureau didn't get in the way this time. Park took Chae-do to the police station. The police station blocked the door. Park called the chief of police. The chief told Park he didn't want to get involved and hung up. He had no choice but to take Chae-do to court. But what's even more outrageous is that the court declared a 1-month vacation and rest. Park was dumbfounded. He didn't expect the government to be so corrupt. He went to the rooftop in despair. Then the man with the glasses told him a message. I want to kill him too. But he had American information in his hand. So we should give them to the Americans. Park looked at the Americans behind him and handed over the key reluctantly. Then the man with the glasses untied Chae-do. Unexpectedly, Chae-do took a pistol from the car and walked straight towards Park. Then he pressed the trigger and killed Park. The man with the glasses next to him was dumbfounded. He felt guilty that he had killed Park, seeing that Chae-do had been taken away by the Americans. The man with the glasses vowed to avenge Park's death. At the end of the story, Glasses Man finds Chae-do, puts a gun in his mouth and kills him. Not satisfied with that, he cut off his head with a knife and put it in front of his Americans. This is the end of the movie. This is the crime movie V.I.P. directed by Park Hoon-jung. A VIP is a person who enjoys discounts and privileges when shopping and other purchases are made. In this movie, VIP refers to the murderous privileges enjoyed by the rich kids using their background and power, unscrupulous, perverted and deformed monsters under an authoritarian system. After watching the movie, I can't help but think deeply. Are there really people with such privileges in this world? It gives me goosebumps just thinking about it, putting aside the political concepts in the movie. Overall, the whole movie tells a complete, tense, and exciting story to the audience. The actors each interpreted their roles. As a viewer who enjoys this genre, this is a movie well worth watching.